Hi warriors, welcome back. Listen closely, because nobody ever says this out loud. You've been fed a lie again and again. They drilled into you that kindness is power, that if you're patient enough, forgiving enough, understanding enough, people will automatically value you. They'll respect you. They'll treat you right. But here's the reality almost no one wants to confront. Your kindness has been turned into a weapon against you. Every time you nod yes, when everything in you wants to say no. Every time you push your own needs aside, hoping someone will notice the sacrifice. Every time you bend until you break for people who wouldn't even lean for you. You're not earning respect. You're training people to take advantage of you. And the worst part? Most people don't even see it happening. We grow up being told this fairy tale version of how life works. Be nice. Be patient. Turn the other cheek. Good things come to those who wait. Treat people how you want to be treated. And sure, those are beautiful ideas. But let's talk about the thing all those quotes leave out. The world does not operate that way. Not in your relationships. Not in your job. Not anywhere power and influence matter, and trust me, they matter everywhere. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago, and today his lessons are more relevant than ever. This isn't about becoming cruel or heartless. This is about stopping people who are cruel or heartless from walking all over you. So, if you've ever felt ignored, undervalued, or disrespected, even though you've done everything right, then this message is for you. We're going to talk about power. We're going to talk about boundaries. We're going to talk about why kindness without strength gets mistaken for weakness every single time. Drop this affirmation in the comments right now. I choose powerful kindness. Now let's begin. Number 1. The kindness trap. Here's the uncomfortable truth. When you're endlessly nice, people don't remember your worth, they remember your availability. Think about the people you always show up for, the ones you rearrange your whole life for, the people who know you'll say yes before they even finish asking. Now, ask yourself honestly, would they show up for you with the same energy? If you had even a moment of hesitation, you already know the answer. Here's what happens when you're too kind, too understanding, too reachable. You become the person people contact when they need something, not someone they admire, not someone they respect, but someone they can use. And this isn't said to put you down. It's said because it's the truth. Look at the always available person, the one who never says no, the one who listens at 3 a.m., who helps without question, who sacrifices their own time and energy every single time. Do people admire that person? Do they celebrate them? Do they treat them with true respect? No. They rely on them, and they exploit them. Because people don't value what comes too easily. They value what's rare. They respect what has boundaries. When you're always accessible, your time loses its worth. When you never say no, your yes becomes meaningless. When you give and give without expecting anything in return, gratitude eventually fades, and entitlement takes its place. You become the background character in your own story. A resource, a backup plan, a safety net they assume will always be there. And the saddest part? You convinced yourself this is what love is, what friendship is, what being a good person looks like. But ask yourself this: if infinite kindness earned respect, wouldn't you be drowning in respect by now? If being endlessly available made people value you, wouldn't you feel valued? But you don't. And that's why you're here. Because here's the next truth. You can be the most loyal, honest, genuine person in the room. You can have the purest heart on the planet. But if you carry no power, no influence, your goodness becomes invisible. People respect what has weight behind it, not just what has intention behind it. You might want to believe that integrity speaks for itself, but it doesn't, not in this world. History is full of good people who got crushed, because they didn't have power to defend their goodness. The real world doesn't reward good intentions. It rewards those who can back them up. In the workplace, you can have the best ideas, but if you don't speak with confidence, someone else will take the credit. In friendships, you can be the most loyal person, but without boundaries, people will betray you without hesitation. In love, you can be the most caring partner, but without standards, you will be taken for granted. And here's where people get it completely wrong. They think kindness and strength are opposites. They think you have to choose between being good and being powerful. That's nonsense. Kindness needs strength. Goodness needs power. Your values need protection. Without that, they become targets. And here's the part that hurts the most. The nicer you are without boundaries, the more people will test you. They will push. They will take. They will see how far they can go. Not because they're evil, because that's human nature. Life doesn't reward the nicest person in the room. Life rewards the person who knows when to be kind and when to say enough. Drop this affirmation in the comments. My boundaries protect me. Number 2, the cost of being too good. Let's go deeper into this. You can have the most genuine heart, the most honorable intentions, the strongest morals. But if people perceive you as weak, they will mock everything you stand for. Your kindness becomes a joke. Your ethics become something people whisper about behind your back. Your loyalty becomes something they exploit, not admire. It's painful, but it's real. Think about the people you've seen get taken advantage of again and again. The ones who always complain about being mistreated but never change anything. The ones who hand out endless second chances, even to people who have already shown they don't deserve them. Do people respect those individuals? Do they admire their compassion? Do they honor their forgiveness? No. Most people label them as foolish. And I'm not saying that's morally right. I'm saying that's how the world often reacts. This is exactly what Machiavelli understood long before any of us were born. Perception matters more than intention. How others see you matters more than how you see yourself. And whether you like it or not, weakness, no matter how noble, invites attack. History is packed with examples of good people who lost everything because they misunderstood power. Revolutions, wars, political shifts. The side with better values didn't always win. The side that understood power dynamics usually did. This doesn't mean ethics are meaningless. It means ethics without strength behind them get crushed. You see this pattern everywhere, especially in relationships. The person who forgives cheating over and over again. The person who keeps tolerating disrespect. The person who mistakes suffering for patience and calls it love. Are they kind? Yes. Are they caring? Absolutely. But are they respected? No. They're being used. And everyone around them can see it, except them. Because life does not reward blind kindness. Life rewards people who know when kindness must end and self-respect must begin. Life rewards the person who can say, I love you, but I won't let you walk all over me. The person who draws a boundary and actually means it. The person who understands that sometimes the kindest thing you can do is refusing to participate in your own mistreatment. That's not cruelty. That's self-respect. Now here's the part that stings the most. The nicer you are without limits, the more people will push to see how far they can go. They're not trying to be evil. They're simply wired to take what's freely offered. Your coworker keeps dumping tasks on you because you keep agreeing to do them. Your friend keeps canceling plans because you always say it's okay. Your family keeps disregarding your boundaries because you show up no matter what. And every time you accept it, you reinforce the pattern. You teach them this is normal. You teach them this is allowed. You teach them you won't resist. So they keep taking, and they'll keep taking until you stop them. But here's why it's so hard. You've convinced yourself that saying no makes you selfish, that standing up for yourself makes you unkind, that protecting your energy makes you the bad guy. So you keep giving and giving and giving, hoping they'll eventually appreciate you. But they won't, because you trained them not to. Here's the harsh truth you need to let sink in. People use you because you never enforced boundaries. You taught them to expect everything and offer nothing. You didn't do it intentionally. You thought you were being good. You thought you were being supportive. You thought you were being loving. But what you really did was show people that your kindness has no limit. And when something has no limit, people stop valuing it. You showed them your time didn't matter, so they stopped protecting it. You showed them hurting you had no consequences, so they stopped caring. Now you're burnt out, resentful, exhausted, and confused, wondering why everyone keeps taking from you but never gives anything back. It's because you never demanded more. You never set a standard. You never walked away when you should have. You never showed people that access to you is a privilege, not a right. Let that settle for a moment. Access to you is a privilege. Your time is valuable. Your energy is sacred. Your kindness is a gift. And until you start acting like that's true, people will keep treating you like it's not. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I protect my energy. Number 3. Machiavelli's lesson. Let's get to the heart of what Machiavelli actually taught. Morality is beautiful. Ethics are important. This isn't about becoming cruel or abandoning your values. It's about this simple truth. Goodness without power doesn't survive. Your values need protection. Your kindness needs boundaries. Your ethics need strength behind them, or they become easy targets for people who have none. Machiavelli wasn't telling people to be evil. He was teaching survival in a world where evil exists. He was saying, good intentions alone are useless if you're too weak to enforce them. He wrote it 500 years ago, and it's just as true today. If you don't understand human nature, people will make you their prey. He wasn't cynical, he was honest. Because here's what most people refuse to admit. People don't act the way you wish they would. They act according to their own interests. Your boss won't notice your hard work unless it benefits them. Your friends won't think about your needs unless you make them obvious. Your partner won't respect your boundaries unless you enforce them. That doesn't make them bad. It makes them human. And if you go through life expecting fairness, kindness, or reciprocity just because you give them, you will be disappointed over and over. Because here's the cold truth. Kindness alone doesn't guarantee kindness in return. Generosity alone doesn't guarantee gratitude. Goodness alone doesn't guarantee respect. More often than not, your kindness just shows people what they can get away with. Your generosity shows them how far they can push. Your patience shows them they don't need to fear consequences. And then they take, not because they're monsters, but because you made it easy. That's why Machiavelli talked so much about power. Not because power is inherently good or evil, but because power is necessary. Necessary to protect what matters to you. Necessary to enforce your boundaries. Necessary to make your kindness a choice, not a survival mechanism. Here's a distinction almost nobody sees. A person with power can be kind because they want to. A person without power is kind because they have no other option. Think about that. Kindness from strength is a gift. Kindness from weakness is a vulnerability. One earns admiration. The other invites exploitation. When a CEO helps an employee, it's generous. When a desperate employee helps a CEO, it's expected. When a strong person forgives, it's noble. When a weak person forgives, it's pitied. Same action, different context, different outcome. Power changes everything. That's why Machiavelli said, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." Not because fear is good, but because fear sets boundaries. Fear makes people think twice before crossing you. Fear protects your kindness from being abused. You don't need to be cruel. You don't need to be mean. You do need to be someone people hesitate to disrespect. And that requires power. Not money, not status, not physical strength. The power I'm talking about is this: the power of self-respect, the power to walk away, the power to say no and truly mean it. That's the kind of power that protects your goodness. That's the power that makes your kindness valuable. That's the power that lets you give freely without becoming a target. Because here's the truth almost everyone misses. It's not about dominating others. It's about not being dominated. It's not about making people fear you. It's about making people respect you. And respect only comes when people know you won't tolerate disrespect. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I choose respect always. Number 4. The real meaning of power. Let's clarify what power truly is. Power isn't about being cruel. It isn't about hurting others. It isn't about controlling or dominating people. Real power is control over yourself, control over your choices, control over your boundaries. It's knowing when to give and when to say no. It's having the strength to walk away from anything that doesn't serve you. That is power. Not the power to harm, not the power to manipulate, not the power to control others. Real power is the ability to protect yourself, the ability to refuse, the ability to decide where your energy goes, the ability to control your own life. Let me make this concrete. Real power is saying no without guilt. Real power is turning down favors you don't want to do. Real power is declining invitations that don't serve you. Real power is refusing requests that cross your boundaries without over-explaining, apologizing, or feeling like you owe justification. Real power is walking away from disrespect. It's ending one-sided friendships. It's leaving relationships that drain you. It's quitting jobs that don't value you, even when it's hard, even when it's scary, even when people try to guilt you into staying. Real power is choosing who deserves your energy. It's being selective about who gets access to your time, attention, and kindness. Not everyone deserves your best. Not everyone earns your generosity. Not everyone is entitled to your patience. That's power. Most people confuse power with dominance. They think power means being loud, controlling, or forcing people to obey. That's not power. That's insecurity masquerading as strength. Real power is quiet. It's calm. It's the ability to stay centered when chaos surrounds you. It's holding your boundaries firm even when others push. It's being kind without being weak. Real power is the CEO who doesn't need to yell because everyone already respects them. It's the friend who doesn't have to prove their value because everyone already knows it. It's the person who can be generous without being exploited because everyone understands there are limits. That's the kind of power you need. And here's why it matters. When you have this power, self-respect, boundaries, influence, your kindness transforms. It stops being expected and starts being appreciated. It stops being a weakness and becomes a strength. Your generosity comes with boundaries. Your forgiveness comes with standards. Your patience comes with limits. You're not kind because you fear being anything else. You're kind because you choose to be. And that choice changes everything. People can sense it. They notice when generosity comes from abundance versus fear. They know when kindness is a gift versus a survival mechanism. When kindness comes from strength, it's respected. When kindness comes from weakness, it's exploited. Same kindness, different outcome. This is what Machiavelli understood. This is what every respected, powerful person in history understood. And this is what you must understand if you want to stop being used. Goodness is not weakness. Kindness is not naive. Generosity is not foolish. But goodness without boundaries, kindness without self-respect, generosity without limits, those are vulnerabilities. You can be as kind, giving, and forgiving as you like, but only if you're strong enough to protect yourself. Only if you're powerful enough to enforce your standards. Only if you're respected enough to make people think twice before crossing you. This isn't about changing who you are. It's about protecting who you are. It's about making sure the world doesn't punish you for being good. Right now, if you're honest, the world is punishing you for being good. Your kindness is being exploited. Your generosity is being used. Your patience is being tested. And it will keep happening until you decide it stops. Until you decide, being good doesn't mean being a doormat. Being kind doesn't mean accepting disrespect. Being forgiving doesn't mean tolerating repeated betrayal. You can still be all those things: kind, generous, patient, understanding. But you must be powerful. You must have boundaries. You must have standards. Because kindness without strength isn't virtue, it's vulnerability. Here's the ultimate truth you need to remember. Being good doesn't make you weak. Being kind doesn't make you a target. Being generous doesn't make you foolish. But being good without boundaries, being kind without self-respect, being generous without limits, that is what leaves you exposed. That is what invites exploitation. That is what makes you vulnerable. The world doesn't need more nice people who get walked over. It doesn't need more good people who get used and discarded. It doesn't need more kind people who give until they're empty. The world needs people who are strong and kind. People who give because they want to, not because they fear saying no. People who forgive because they are secure enough to let go, not because they're too weak to demand better. That is the person you need to become, not someone who stops being kind. Someone who chooses kindness on their terms, not someone who stops caring. Someone who cares about themselves as much as they care about others, not someone who stops giving. Someone who gives to those who deserve it and walks away from those who don't. Stop giving your power away. Stop letting people treat your kindness like it's worthless. Stop tolerating behavior you wouldn't accept from yourself. Start protecting what matters. Start enforcing your boundaries. Start being the kind of person people respect, not just the kind of person people use. Kindness without strength isn't virtue. It's vulnerability. And you've been vulnerable long enough. It's time to be powerful. It's time to be respected. It's time to give from choice, not obligation. Machiavelli wasn't telling you to be cruel. He was telling you to be smart, to understand how the world really works, to protect your goodness with strength so it survives in a world that will try to destroy it. So, ask yourself, are you being kind from power or from fear? Are you giving because you want to, or because you're afraid of what happens if you don't? Are your boundaries respected, or do you have none? The answers will show you exactly where you stand. And if you don't like what you see, you know what needs to change. Before you go, if this video opened your eyes, hit like, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe. We're having the conversations nobody else will. Remember this: respect yourself first. Everything else follows. Your relationships improve. Your career improves. Your entire life improves, not because you became mean, but because you became strong. Not because you stopped caring, but because you started caring about yourself. That is the shift. That is the change. That is the difference between people who get walked over and people who get respected. Make the choice. Stop being the person everyone uses. Start being the person everyone respects. Stop giving your power away. Start protecting what matters. Because kindness without strength isn't virtue, it's vulnerability. and you deserve better than that. Drop your final affirmation in the comments. I am powerful and kind. Now go be that person. The world is waiting.